Hi everybody, this is our next training session for MYOB. We're going to be covering tutorial 10, which is all about setting up and printing invoices. So once we have created our invoices in MYOB, which is where we looked at in our previous exercise, exercise 8, we obviously want to now either print this off and give it to our customer, or more frequently PDF it and email it to our customers. The same would apply to invoices from our purchases, from our suppliers. We may need to obviously enter that in the system and print it off for our own records. The same steps would apply in that scenario as well. So we'll go through the exercise. I'll get people to first of all obviously log into their system. So learning objectives will be to set up and modify a tax invoice for our business and learn how to print our invoices after the sales have been made. So the first thing that we're going to do is understand how to customize the existing template that we have in MYOB. So to do that, we go into sales. We're going to go to print email invoices over here. And we want to go to advanced filters, and we have here as existing templates. Now what we want to do is we want to modify one of these. I'm going to use one of our plain paper invoices, which I believe is this one here, and now I'll go to customize. And as per exercise 1, there's a few things that we need to do to this current template. I'm just going to quickly walk through that. Now, for example, over here, this information, the fields here are what we call merge fields. So all the existing fields that we have that we can apply are the following. So, for example, if we had two addresses, two different sites for our customer, we could select address 2 over here, and what that will do, for example, address 2's email address. If we apply that, it will put that into our template, and we can place that where we want it to. So these are called merge fields. This information will merge with the details we have for each customer, and will also merge with the details that are appearing on our invoice. To modify any of these, it's got here, for example, we want to change the font size for the company name. So if we go here and go to here, we can change the font size. It's saying from 9 to 14. I'm not going to change that because it's actually 20 at the moment, which is fine. I'm just going to modify this exercise as well. So I'm going to change it. Let's, for argument's sake, change it from 20 to 22. As follows. Then we want to delete the ship to field and the ship addressed field. So ship to delete, all you simply do is click on the text box here and just hit delete on your keypad. And we want to delete that one too, so click on the text box and then hit delete like that. So that's quite straightforward. We also want to delete the following fields: comment, title, and box. So we've got comments, scrolling down looking for comments over here. So we've got the comments title. So I've clicked on that box and I've hit delete, clicked on that box, comments, delete. So these are some of the things that as a default appear on our invoice, and it's just going through how to delete unnecessary fields. Another one is code and tax code, import consolidation. So I'm looking for that field now. Here it is. So we don't want this. So we click on that box and then just hit delete. It removes that information. So that's essentially all that needs to be done there. I'm going to remove this box as well. We don't want MYOB's marketing to appear on our invoices, so we'll get rid of that. What else does it want us to do? Insert our terms of business. So we want to insert our terms of business. Now you can put this anywhere you like. I'm going to put it in this box over here, this space over here. So I'm going to hit text box, and then I'm going to enter that there, and I'm going to now make this bigger. So essentially, what I've done is I've just clicked on that little point there, that little dot there or circle there, and I'm just using my my mouse to make that box larger. And once I've done that, I'm going to double click inside here. That puts my cursor here, and I can now type in our terms of business. Terms of business as a heading, and it's saying here that this invoice represents services rendered, and so forth and so forth. Now you can obviously continue and type out the rest of that. There's another thing that I want to show people too, is that it had to put a logo in. I think that's quite important, which is missing from the exercise here. To put a logo, it's simply a matter of clicking on pictures and obviously ensuring that your logo as a picture is on your computer. I'm going to go to pictures and have a look to see what I can put. Here we've got our logo here. So if I click on that, which is a JPEG, it has to be one of these formats. So JPEG, open, it will appear, and I can now move that to wherever I want on my invoice. As follows. Now once that's done, we'll need to save this so we can use it. To save as, we will do the following. Looking at our steps. Save form as. So if we go here and we go to save as, and we want to give it a name, I'm going to give it a different name. Okay, so that's been saved. We don't want to save the current form, which is our template, which is what we've customized. So if I drop down now, we'll see the template that we have modified as follows. So I'm happy with that. Okay, so to print off a invoice. Now, in the exercise, it's got to print off Buy the Chickens and Life magazines. So what we can do is, at the moment it's showing that JRC is to be printed as it's an open invoice. I'm going to go over here. Actually, I'm going to just go back there and just show you what I did. I went to Advanced Filters, and I'm going to go and have a look at all my invoices. There's all invoices. And what I want to print is invoice 17 and 18, Buy the Chickens and Life magazine. So Buy the Chickens and Life magazine is what I want to print. So I put 2 tick next to those two. Advanced Filters, I want to use the template that we just created, and I'll now go to print. Now what I want to do is, I don't want to physically print it, I'm going to PDF it, because I'm going to email this to my clients. I can go about it in this way as well. So if I've PDF them both, which I'm doing right now, I'm going to now put that onto my desktop. I'm going to call them invoices. And I'm going to show you two ways of, or two methods of printing off. This is the first method, which is what the exercise is indicating. It's just going through that right now. Once it finishes, we'll also done. Let's go invoice 2, second one. To email this directly to our clients, that's also possible through here. I'll show you that in a moment. I'm going to minimize this, go to my desktop, to invoices, PDF. Okay, so that's our invoice. So that's terms of business that I was typing out. Logos there, our company details are appearing, and the details of our invoice are appearing as well. That's the first one, and that's the second one. Okay, the same sort of thing. Now the reason the balance is 0 is because we actually put the invoice in and made a payment as well, so it's closed and cleared. So that's fine, straightforward. I'm going to delete those invoices. Going to go back into MYOB. Now to email, it's very similar. We go to email over here, go to advanced filters, and I want to email from all our invoices, and I want to use the same template that we created. Record match. Okay, the issue here is the reason why we're getting no records is we haven't put in the email addresses for our customers in their card. So what needs to happen is when you create cards for your customers, for example, buy the chickens, we need to put an email address in. Once that's done, here we go. Okay, so that wasn't the issue. I believe the issue was unprinted or unsent sales only. I unticked that, so it included all. So that's essentially it. So if I want to email that to buy the chickens now, I put a tick next to that, and that's the message that will appear in the email. And the email, let's go through that, and I'll show you how it folds. So I'm using Microsoft Outlook for my emails. Okay, there's an error. Didn't like that. But that's the method of printing and emailing. Close this off, start again. forcefully close the program off. So here's our email. There was obviously an error. Something went wrong. Close it off. Go back to MYOB. Next, what I'll do is I'll just show you another method of print previewing. System's running quite slow. Okay. Right, so let's assume here that you have gone in and created a sale for K&K Automotives, and once you created the sale, you wanted to, for example, print this off and send it to your customer. If you go over here, and go to preview, and select the template that you're after. So this is obviously the most recent one that you created. Preview. This will display your template, your invoice, your tax invoice, and from here you could print or you can PDF it, similar to what we've done earlier. So this is another shortcut way of generating your invoice whilst you're actually in the invoice screen itself. So I thought I'd just point that out because that's typically how I go about it. I believe it's quite quicker than going into a different screen. That concludes our exercise on customizing and printing tax invoices. And I thought I'd just also point out the same thing applies for our purchases. So for example, if I look at our invoices for our purchases, you'll find that it's identical. It's the same process. Assuming here that you're in an invoice, you can go over here and preview it. Now we haven't actually customized any specific invoices for our suppliers, so we've only got the standard templates. But it'll be the same process. So if I go into purchases, for example, and go to enter purchases, sorry, we're going to be print email. The same thing would apply. So we go to advanced filters and pick our current invoices that exist and customize over here. As follows. Okay, so that concludes this training exercise. and I look forward to doing assignment 11.